There is a massive problem with inaction for those who want to have a profitable homestead, small farm, or build something with their land or land they'll soon acquire. There is value in inaction, but just not for you. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. I want to share with you this very important problem and help you acknowledge it in your own life and then overcome it so that you can start with your small farm, homestead, or estate, that you can start having financial abundance, food abundance, food security, that you can start providing for your family in a sustainable way rather than hoping, dreaming, and wishing that one day you might be able to do something. Where I'm going to tell you right now that that day is now, today. You deserve the abundance that you dream about. First off, the idea would not be in your mind if it wasn't of value to you in some way to reduce your environmental footprint, to get better, higher quality food, to have food at a greater value. You know, today a lot of the food gets to the grocery stores after 30, 40, even 90 days. It has very little nutritional value, but that harvest you get from your own backyard in the quality soil with the care and love of your family is health in abundance on the first pick. That's called like 0 day food. I remember back in the day when I was doing a lot of software stuff, there was the 0 day wares. It was this software in your hands the day it was released by the developer. Imagine food in your hands day zero. You don't have to worry about if there's food on the shelf at the grocery store. You don't have to worry about what the prices are. You've already invested that small seed, which has grown in abundance with nature and is right there outside your doorstep. Now, I understand how powerful these desires are. In fact, technology companies and entertainment companies feed off of those desires because they have found a way to farm your fat as you sit on the couch. See, your inactivity, your you're just so tired after a long day of work that you just want to sit on the couch and you're going to watch other people express their dreams and check out how their farm is doing and check out how their homestead is doing. And these are people that are hundreds of miles away from you, but the middle person, the technology, the entertainment channel, the documentary person has found a way to profit from your inactivity. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling you lazy or anything. I've sat and watched videos and documentaries and shows. The difference is that I use these 4 steps that I'm going to share with you, so that some of these things start manifesting in my life, so that I can have and speak from authority about how valuable it is to get started with your dream today. I don't want you to wait another minute, because when I was waiting, I had a good feeling that, this is what I wanted to do, this is where I want to go, but not until I started doing it did I realize the abundance of power and excitement and joy and the fresh air and the fresh vegetables. And I'm going to share with you again a 4 step plan to get started right away. But understand that technology, computers, conveniences are selling you this dream, this farming dream, this independence dream, yet delivering it in the form of slavery through the metaverse, through Minecraft, through video games, through stuff that's designed to keep you set in a chair, to keep you locked down in your home, to keep you in a prison of your own mind. And I know this sounds a little dramatic, but these 4 steps are going to show you how to break free. I just need you to understand that the life you're living today is not the life that you desire. I know I've heard people share their dreams. They talk about getting up in the morning in a tiny cottage house, walking out into their front lawn and not having a lawn anymore, but instead beautiful wildflowers. As they walk through their lawn or their yard or their oasis, they discover vegetables. They see wildlife free, the sound of birds, fresh air. No noise or distractions, only themselves and their creator in peace and harmony. And sure, they'll build that cottage right away in their little cottage uh, role play games or their dreams and visions in their own mind. And they'll even visit other people's cottage, but they won't take these 4 steps. So, without talking to you more about how others are profiting from your inaction, I want to show you how to gain action. And it starts number one with writing down your desired outcome. Sure, you have these ideas in your head, but I want you to grab your journal, take a little quiet time, grab a cup of tea, sit down in nature, sit down in your home, some soft music in the background, and I want you to describe on paper that dream that you have. Is it a home where your children have plenty of space to play outside? So rather than playing video games, you know how they get all cranky when they've been on a computer for a while? That doesn't happen in your world. In your world, them boys and girls have been running around in the yard, expressing themselves, having a good old time, yelling at the top of their lungs while mama sits out on the porch and doesn't have to listen to that because those kids are out there in the field. They're out running around. They're out playing with the dog. They're out taking care of animals. They're gaining responsibility. Write it down in your journal. Now, you've got family, so you want to talk about it with your family, but don't talk too long. Write it down. Describe the outcome you desire. Number two is you're going to draft a simple plan. Now, I know, money's awful tight. And how am I going to have this dream if I got to pay for it on such little amount of money that I'm earning today? Well, folks, I don't want you to be distracted by money. I don't want you to be discouraged by money. I want you to understand that money is only a medium of exchange, and whatever your dream is right now, you're only writing it on paper. The money can't stop you. You grab the back of a napkin and start writing. You grab an old piece of notebook paper. You grab anything that you've got in a pen, and there is nothing that can stop you from creating a simple plan. Now, what is a simple plan? Well, it's going to be, again, we've already outlined the outcome. Pick one thing from that outcome that you would love to have, that you dream about, that you want in your life today, that we can manifest with a simple plan. What are we going to do first? So let's say you want your kids to be able to run free and have an outdoor experience and entertainment. And you know what? You don't own any land right now. And I know I hear you all these excuses. These are the excuses that the system wants you to have so that you'll sit your fat ass back down on the couch. And I'm just saying this colloquially. Whatever terms you skinny ass, it doesn't matter to me. But when you sit your butt on the couch, they are putting you back in your stall and you are livestock to their production and their earning. And when you flip on that television and you're watching that next show, every commercial is making money out of your inaction. Why not transform your life by having an outcome clearly defined, taking one aspect of that outcome and putting it in a simple plan? You want your sons and daughters to have outdoor experiences and be able to run and scream at the top of their lungs. In fact, wear themselves out without it being a burden unto you, but you don't have any land. You don't have any money. Well, look, I'm talking about a simple plan here. You don't need a complex plan. You don't need a plan that requires any money. You don't need a plan that requires any land. If you want your children to have outdoor recreational experiences, I don't care if you're in an inner city or I don't care if you're out in the country. I don't care if you're out in the suburbs. You go to a park. I didn't say you had to own the land. Go to the park. Let the kids run. And then ask them afterwards, is this something you'd like to do more often? Did you have a good time? And if their goals are aligned with your goals, now enroll them in the next step, which is a gap analysis that says, look, we live in this tiny apartment and we want to have more freedom. We want to have more recreational time. We want to have more fresh vegetables. We want to have this. Where do we have to go? What is from where we are right now to where we want to be, what is the gap, and what is the fastest path from where we are to where we want to go? So you're in that tiny apartment. You're all cramped up. You feel like the only thing you have is to watch television. And then I shockingly and in your face have explained to you that you're like a cow or a pig or a piece of livestock in a stall. And you've realized you don't want to be a piece of livestock in a stall. You don't want to be trapped in your home. You want freedom. You want the ability to get out and move around and dance and experience fresh air. And you experience that by going to the park with your kids. And now you realize the only thing keeping you from getting to your dreams is a little tiny bit of action. And you realize that now the gap of either home ownership or experience in the country or or that fresh air or fresh food is now a possibility. And you start thinking about farmers markets. You start thinking about gardening co-ops or allotment properties. Start thinking about that little garden on your porch. And now, rather than being leashed into and being fed the narratives, being fed the fatty diet of fantasy, you are starting to realize in your own life, we're only on step 3, folks, that you can do something. Step number 4 is put that plan into action each day. When you wake up in the morning, you have this outcome that you've been journaling about, that you've been talking with your family about. You have this simple plan to start experiencing some of these steps to confirm whether or not this is really what you want. And finally, you start doing that gap analysis to start building out that bridge. How do we don't have a farm right now. We would love to have a farm in the future, but we could be farmers on someone else's land by participating in the local food cooperative. Do you see how this works, folks? And number 4 is if you're doing this every day, before you know it, rather than worrying about the next political catastrophe, climate change, or the world around you failing, you'll start creating a new world, an alternative space, an environment. You'll find friends and community. You'll find individuals that you connect with and understand that together you get to where you want to be of freedom, liberty, fresh food, emotional structure to allow you to be something rather than locked in a cage, a prisoner in your own home, surrounded and fed entertainment, fed advertising, fed words that are designed to make you feel that you need to buy their product. I know I may have said some things that are offensive in today's talk. I know I might have used words that might have been a bit harsh, like challenging you or even comparing you with livestock, but I have been there. I have been trapped inside of my own home like millions of other people. And I'm not just talking about the COVID. I'm talking about the attraction to technology, the mobile phone, the other devices that have distracted me and taken me away from my health, wealth, and wisdom. And I only hope to share with you and perhaps an emotional way to really connect with people because I've tried for so many years to get the word out and I feel I can help many more people and I've helped thousands of people, but how have I helped you? Well, today I've delivered to you a 4-part plan that starts with writing down the outcome you desire. To put it on paper, it costs you nothing. You can write about it in a journal, discuss it with your family, but you got to write it down. Once you've written it on paper, you have committed to the idea and can refine that idea, number 2, with a simple plan. If you want more outdoor time, what's your plan? You're going to get up off the couch, you're going to open the door, you're going to step outside, and you're going to do something. 15, 20 minutes is a good start. It's better than being trapped in the cage. It's better than being fed this fatty diet of waste and destruction and fear that is necessary for someone else to monetize your inaction. And instead, you can start monetizing your action, monetizing and growing your action, both in experience, emotion, and the values that you want in life. Number 3, you're going to gap analysis because I know a lot of you folks are going to say, oh, Justin, it's just a rainy day outside and that's why I'm listening to your podcast. I can't do anything. Well, guess what? You can do something and you're going to figure it out so you can get fast started right now. Number 4 is you're going to put that plan into action each day when you wake up. In fact, before you go to bed, you're going to write down the 3 things that you're going to do that, if done immediately the next day, is going to take you closer to the desires that you have, the outcome that you've defined. And this is the first step in your new life. Now, folks, there's more to this that you can discover by joining our podcast. or joining our email newsletter by visiting www.prosperityhomestead.org. But I don't want you to do that first. I want you to take step number one, which is writing down your outcome. I would just stop the podcast here. I'm done with the podcast right now. You're gonna take this 4-step plan, and then afterwards you'll have something to share with me about your experience, about the transformation that you saw in your own life with this simple step, and then I will have earned the right to share with you more insights. I want to thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to your success stories. Get started right now.